For sure, looking forward to that discussion. Thanks, Graham. Thanks, Carl. We are still keeping the focus on the parents this morning. And you know what, when you become a parent or a guardian, you also wear the hat of a doctor and a pharmacist. And it's a good thing to get your knowledge up there. And that is what we're helping you out with right now. Because today we sit down with pharmacist Radar Kader from Redham Pharmacy to discuss different types of coughs in kids and how to treat them. Radar, thank you very much for joining us this morning, my friend.
Hi, thanks so much.
You know what, I remember, you know, back when my kids were young and they got sick for the first time and there was a cough, I panicked. I really did, because I mean, obviously, you know, you guys are grown up, you kind of been through the running of it already, you know what the coughs are like, but when it's your kid, it's a different story. So let's chat about a cough. We want to focus on that. What's the main cause, just for parents? Let's start at the baseline there.
So, morning, thanks again for having me. Yeah, so cough is basically a protective mechanism from the body. It's a reflex action so that the airways can be cleared out from pathogens or irritants. And the main cause of coughs, especially in children, would be cold. Sometimes it could be even asthma, serious respiratory infection, or even croup.
So what should we start looking out for? I mean, here you know, your child started coughing. There could potentially be a bit of a wheezing sound. You could hear phlegm as well. What's the association here? If you take specifically with regards to phlegm, I think that's when we start to take notice and we're like, okay, well, we need to address this now seriously.
So if there is a wheezing sound, then the presence of phlegm is definitely more prominent. And if the phlegm is actually also a body's coping mechanism to trap and block pathogens in the respiratory tract. Exactly. If there's a bit of a wheeze, then it's generally known as a wet cough, which phlegm is present. Yeah.
Absolutely. On that note, I mean, the different types of coughs that we as parents need to look out for our children, because of course, you know, we've seen it's been a long run over the past couple of months. There's been a lot of bugs going around, a lot of illness as well. So you get the wet cough and then you get the dry cough. What exactly is the difference?
So we've been seeing a lot more cases of wet coughs, as I would call them. But yeah, so the kinds of coughs that one would look out for would be a dry hacking cough, which is mostly due to allergies and things like that, and then the wet phlegmy cough, and then also persistent coughs, which could be a little more serious respiratory condition like asthma and things like that. So yeah, so dry cough, wet cough, persistent cough.
Now, I know that obviously we said that, you know, having a phlegmy cough or that wet cough, I mean, that is already, it sounds, you know, very scary as well when it progresses to a certain point. What's the best course of action, treatment options for a phlegmy cough specifically?
So once we've established what kind of cough it is, so if it's a dry cough, you'd treat it with a cough suppressant. If it's a phlegmy cough, as we were talking about now, you'd actually not suppress it. You'd try and treat it with something like an expectorant to expel the phlegm, or bronchodilator to open up the chest, or something called a mucolytic. One thing that I like to add to these over-the-counter kind of medicines that have a bronchodilator, mucolytic in them, is a natural product. Last week I spoke about a natural product called olive leaf extract. Okay. Today I'd like to talk about ivy leaf extract. And ivy leaf extract is also a great natural product found in over-the-counter medicines to help with, to break down that phlegm and get it off the chest.
And something I think that parents may be familiar with is tartrazine. What exactly is that, and is it a good treatment option as well? So
tartrazine is not a treatment option. Tartrazine would be an ingredient, it's actually a food colorant, that's found in medicines and in often children's medicines. Yeah. And tartrazine it's not a good idea actually. So I'd stay away from products containing tartrazine, mainly because of sensitivities and allergies. Tartrazine, in fact, studies have shown can cause and trigger an asthmatic episode. So I'd stay away from tartrazine medicine-containing products. Yeah.
Just before we wrap, just very quickly, at what point do we need to take it seriously? When your child starts coughing and you're like, okay, now I need to take action, as opposed to something that you can manage?
So when you've done you've gone to the pharmacy and you've asked the advice and you've got all the over-the-counter medicines and it's been more than 3 or 4 or 5 days and even up to a week, and it's still persistent, then I'd say seek extra medical advice.
Oh, perfect. Radar, thank you very much for being here this morning. Thanks for the
having
tips and
me.
advice for our parents out there. Remember, you can help your child by simply knowing more and acting on it. So go ahead, share this with a fellow parent, a fellow guardian, to help keep your kiddo in top health this winter.
Thanks a lot.
Don't let a cough spoil your family's work or play this winter. EXPIGEN cough syrup is effective in helping to relieve congestion, and it does not contain alcohol or tartrazine. This July on Expresso, 2 lucky viewers stand a chance to win 5,000 Rand cash prize in cash each. Simply reply to the competition question on Expresso's Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages using #EXPIGEN and #HealthyFam, HappyFam in your answer. T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.